Hey everybody, Dave here. Hope you're having an awesome day. So about a year ago, I found a Hellboy action figure. It's an 18-inch tall or maybe even bigger. And I found it at a show called Timber Dan Toy Show here in our local area. And the guy wanted 50 bucks for it. And then we went back and forth and he was like, I'd give it to you for 40. I kind of hesitated. I thought, I don't know. Well, I went back this year and I saw it again and it was on sale for $20. But then they had a big sign that said, blow out, everything must go. And I just looked at it and I was like, hey, would you take 10? And they were like, yeah. I was like, let's go. Now, the arms were broken and they were kind of rigged together with these little ball joints and sticks. And this one has duct tape and hot glue and it's kind of a mess. So I'm going to see if I can fix this thing and then maybe even do some upgrades. So come on, let's do it. All right, so here's my bargain, but you can see the arm is kind of just falling off there, and this other arm is pretty loose as well. I appreciate that they came up with a pretty decent solution, especially with the original ball joint, but on this side here, where it has the electrical tape and hot glue, it's just not quite working, so I'm going to come up with a better solution for that. First thing I'm going to do is get my heat gun, make sure not to melt your plastic, but this will soften that joint up so that ball joint will just pop right out. Then I'm going to take some calipers. If you don't have calipers and you're finding yourself building more and more, I recommend getting these. You can get them cheap. I was able to measure out and 3D print a couple of spheres. Now, the spheres have these little ridges on it, but it actually ends up working nicely for me. My hole was a little too small, so I'm going to go ahead and drill that out. Got some grip gloves there so the sphere doesn't slip around. And it's a really tight fit, but I love that. Just hammer that in, take some pipe cutters, and I got my length that I want, and I will just cut this pipe. These are a really nice tool to have as well if you're finding yourself doing a lot of scratch building. I'm going to heat up the arm again with my heat gun, and we'll pop this guy in. I was muscling around with it, got it halfway in there, and then I went ahead and just hammered it the rest of the way in. And it is a nice tight fit. I really love this. So let's give it a shot and push those in. And now I did kind of just luck out because this rod was the exact dimension of the holes that pre-existed. So I didn't have to do anything there, but it is a beautiful, perfect fit. And I actually have to give that a little bit more of a push in there. And there it is. Now this is nice because I didn't glue these in because I can take these on and off. Because I have an idea. I think he looks great, but he needs a trench coat. And so I'm going to reach out to my mom and see if she can help me build a trench coat. Before I do that, I printed this gun. I just found this on Thingiverse, and it's the Good Samaritan, but it was a little too small, so I went ahead and printed another one. There's the original one, and that's the new one in his hand. And now it's big and beefy, and I'm really liking it. Now, I printed this on my Bamboo, and if you've ever printed with a filament printer, they don't print rounded details like this very well on the bed itself. So I split the gun in half, and then I printed each half individually, and as it built up, the top portion looked great. So now all I have to do is just put a little bit of CA glue, glue that together. Once it's glued together, I've got a little seam across the top there, so I'll take some Tamiya putty, fill this out, smooth it out just a little bit, then I'll get it all sanded down. And then I'm going to spray paint it with a black metallic gunmetal. Then I'll paint out some of the little details. A little brown on the grip. The gun itself has some really cool little gold accents on there, so I'll add all those little accents. And then once I've got those all added in, I will paint out a little bit of silver on the bottom there. And then on the handle, it's funny, most of this will get covered up by his hand anyways. And then we'll do some dry brushing. And dry brushing is just loading up your brush, getting most of the paint off, and then lightly skimming over the top. Now, my mom's been working on this coat, so let's go see how she made this little guy. It's pretty awesome.
For the Hellboy jacket, I'm going to use a pair of jeans and upcycle. After making the pattern, I had to make a prototype to test everything out, make sure everything worked correctly. And then I just finished cutting out the pattern pieces from the jeans. I'm going to start the Hellboy jacket by doing a welt pocket. And David said he just wanted a fake pocket, but I think I'm going to go ahead and make a real one. And of course, no show is good without bloopers. I happened to sew this on upside down. This was supposed to be down here. So I got to take it all out and do it over again. The other side turned out okay though. But this guy, wrong way. Okay, I've got the lining done and attached. Now I have to do the collar and the cape and attach those. Just finished the lining for the cape. We'll turn it right side out and press it and then put it on him and make sure everything fits.
While Mom was finishing that up, I got back on my bamboo printer and printed some buttons and some buckles. I spray painted these silver. Then I wanted to make a patch to go on the shoulder of the Bureau logo, so laser etched this. My buddy helped me with this. Man, this is so amazing to watch, and it smelled so good. Then Mom came over because she wanted to do some final touches. Hi, Mom. She's working on just the straps and kind of attaching those. She was sewing these on. Now, again, my mom is completely self-taught. She's never even had lessons. She just is naturally amazing at this stuff. She draws really well. She's an amazing seamstress. Bread, she's not that great at making bread, but that's okay. We'll give her a pass. But my mom is amazing. She is so great. Just gluing on the little patches. The other one we sewed, the laser cutter, we were able to laser cut those little holes, so that made it super easy. Just use a little barge glue for this littler patch that has the clover on it and glued that on. I've got some buttons that I 3D printed. I painted those an ivory color, and I put pins in the jacket to space them out so I can make sure I'm gluing them in the correct spot. We'll tuck one underneath, even though you'll probably never really see it. He's got some little accessories like a rosary. So I just went to the craft store, got these little chains. I know it's not perfect, but it's fun. It's like a nice little touch. He's also got these like little Buddha bead bracelet kind of things. So put that on his wrist. And that looks really great. There was a few little touch-ups that need to be done in the hair. Just where the paint had scuffed off. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time, touch this up. Nothing major. And I think this one turned out awesome.
All right, now this, I have to be honest, was probably more of my mom's build than my build, but man, she did an awesome job. It looks so good. This really completes this thing, and taking this from a $10 toy to, I don't know, for me, this thing's awesome. I think at some point I might want to build a little diorama for him as well, and maybe weather up the coat a little bit, but my mom just finished it, and I didn't have the heart to do any weathering on it. I just wanted to capture it as is, and maybe we'll do something a little bit later with it. But, man, it looks cool. All right, let's do some turnaround shots of this thing, and as always, it is a great day to be a toy nerd. Have a great one.